All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report. Oh, I always forget to do that. Turn off the speakers. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a good Friday, April 2nd. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start of your Freaky Friday. As always, don't forget, if you are new to the Raymond Report, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification in the top right-hand corner, or your mobile device, just hit the subscribe, and each and every day, once we release our podcast, you will be notified. But you got to, according to a lot of people I talk to, you got to now hit your settings to be notified, so that way whenever we go on air, you will get notified. Today's show is on the air. All right, hopefully you guys are having yourself a good Friday. I know it's a holiday on a Good Friday, so a lot of people probably sleeping in, maybe doing their homework, or maybe counting their winnings from last night, hopefully. And hopefully you guys had yourselves a good night last night in the sports betting world. In fact, pretty good opening day in Major League Baseball. Went 2-0 yesterday with my selections, and the key of the day, the topic of the day is going to be discipline. We're going to talk about sports betting discipline and how easy it could be to just go crazy on a opening day and bet all those heavy favorites, those Dodgers, the Yankees, and I'll get into that in just a few seconds. All right, so the Ramblers and Gamblers are now stepping up to the plate there in the bullpen. There's Sniper, there's G&G. Hopefully you guys having yourself a good morning. Hello, Ronald, says G&G. I just love it when they call me Ronald, eh? It's like, you're at home when people start calling you Ronald. Hey, you can call me Ronald, don't call me late for dinner, right? That's the two things you can call me. All right, so let's take a look at today's show and the topics we're going to talk about here on the show. Did a little bit of searching this morning. And there's Roger. How you doing, Roger? And so we're going to talk about Ron's topic of the day. Ron's rant is sports betting discipline and how you got to exercise discipline on a new sports betting calendar like Major League Baseball yesterday. I'm sure a lot of people got hammered pretty good. Or hopefully, hopefully the members or the people of this show did really well. We're going to give out free horse racing selections as we do each and every day right here, where I go my horse racing DJ voice. And then sports betting index. We're going to take a look at the sports betting markets to see what's come in and see what the markets are at. And I look at the sports betting index or the sports betting market just like I do the stocks, the Dow Jones. You got to find out which team is bullish, bearish, and who is neutral in a fair market conditions. The Bears and Bulls report, and no, it's not the Chicago Bears or Bulls. It's the bearish teams and bullish teams of the Rain report. We're going to review the last 100 computer picks and my premium picks here at ATSstats.com. And then we're going to jump into some Major League Baseball handicapping today, only 7 games, NBA, and then NHL. And last call, that'll be a wrap with the Ramblers and Gamblers. Who want my account? Says Rashad. Rashad's already trading in his account there. What's going on, Rashad? You have a bad day at the office yesterday or what? Roger says he cashed in on a 6-team for $15 and a 4-team parlay, and 45 missed a 10-team parlay by 1 team for $9K. Yeah, that sucks. But you know what? That's it's the way it goes, right? Yeah, JT Foster. Let's get this bag of money today, Ray. You betcha. Let's go get the money, right? What's up, Raymond? How we doing? Doing great. Plays and parlays. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Being from Boston these days, we were talking about this the other day. I don't know if you heard this, but man, you must be pulling your. Hopefully, you got some hair left if you're cheering on the Bruins, Celtics, or the Patriots, right? Those teams will just drive you nuts. And we're seeing there's Johnny X sneaking in through the side door again. Hey, but you know what? I'll give you this. He's only 4 minutes late today, Johnny. Crushed the baseball plays yesterday, and Underdog Sniper says that's wild. Braves took me behind the woodshed. The old woodshed, eh? The old bookies woodshed. Hey, man, I wish we had a production team here. I'd have these great props where remember the old was it Coyote there and the Roadrunner there? Was it Leghorn, Foghorn? He grabbed the foot and just whack, he'd whack his butt. The old woodshed. We need a production team here. Hey, that would be funny, eh? See who got taken out behind the woodshed. 3-2 last night, and Underdog on Bless says Glory. Right on, work before glory. What's up, fellas? Says Eric Jones. And, you know what? Really getting a good vibe this morning here with the community on roll call. It must be a Friday. Eh? Everybody's all pumped up on a Friday on a roll call. And no, it's good. It's good to see the community growing. We got some great ramblers and gamblers who step up to the bullpen each and every day. And the thing is, guys, this is your show. As much as this the Rain Report, the show is only as good as the people that are involved in it. And if you guys participate each and every day, and you make friends in the bullpen, and you make some connections and some networks, and at the end of the day, right? No one wants to go behind the woodshed and have the bookie take us behind the woodshed. We want to take them behind the woodshed, and we can brag about our winnings the next day, right? All right, the Ron's rant of the day is sports betting discipline. It's so easy. I was just looking at Twitter yesterday, and one sports book posted some of the top bets yesterday, and I think some of the top plays yesterday was Cleveland, Dodgers, Yankees, and the one thing that I in any season, and I only had two plays yesterday in baseball. I played the Angels and I played the Houston Astros. That's the only two plays that I had, and the reason why, anytime I go into a new season, I just know, like the old military saying, right? Expect the unexpected. You just don't know what to expect on opening day, and there's a lot of fool's gold out there. I said it this year when I picked the Tampa Bay Rays to win the division. I'm not a believer in the Yankees. I think the New York Yankees, whenever you have two players like Stanton and Judge that are identical, you got a problem. There can't be two Batmans. There can only be one Batman, and I think the New York Yankees are going to have to make a choice, and those two players are always injured. And don't get me going on the injury guys, right? Porzingis, Markkanen, don't get me going with those guys. But, the guys that are always injured, and I think the New York Yankees, I was thinking of watching the game yesterday between the Blue Jays and the Yankees, and I was looking at all the old Yankee, remember Jorge Posada? And, you had really hardcore loyalist Yankee players. And I don't know if I see that right now. In the Girardi was one. You just had some Yankee guys, and it was just they would bleed Yankees. And I don't know, looking at the Yankees, and to me, it's always about leadership and the ownership, right? George Steinbrenner, hate him or love him, he was a great owner if you were a Yankee guy, because he cared about his team. He cared about his Yankees. And you know what? And the thing I love about George Steinbrenner when he was owning the Yankees, he had rules. You needed to get a haircut. You needed to shave. You needed to represent his business well, right? And the thing, hate it or like it, and don't like being told what to do. That was his team. And if you wanted to play for the Yankees, you had to obey by his rules, right? And that, I was fine with that. I had no big problems with that. But looking at the Yankees right now, I think Judge and Stanton, you're gonna have to make. I think they're gonna have to make a decision. Either trade one, or that's all they can do is trade one, right? Because you can't. I just don't see both of those guys in the same lineup. And I think one's batting third and fourth, or second and third. I don't know. I just looking at it's one game. The world's not going to come down after one game. But you got to be careful betting those heavy favorite teams like the Dodgers yesterday. I knew in Coors Field that field is just it's something different. It's not it's not the same type of field that you see all over the parks, right? Look in Detroit, it's snowing yesterday. But looking at some of the upsets yesterday, Colorado. Who saw that coming, right? Yankees. Hey, how about that system we gave out yesterday? The system with home favorites? First game of the series, total 7.5. I think it went 2-1. The only loss was the come from behind win by the Brewers, and we had Minnesota. So I think the system we had yesterday was St. Louis, Blue Jays, and the Milwaukee, right? Minnesota. So yeah, it really paid off. But getting back to Ron's rant, and you can see when Ron goes on a rant, he goes all over the place. You got to be disciplined. You can't fall in love with the betting board, and you think, okay, I lost my 1 o'clock game. I'm going to use the afternoon games or the early 7 o'clock games to bail me out. You can't be thinking like that. You need some self-taught discipline, and don't go crazy and betting the entire, like I saw one guy just posted, he had a 19 parlay. Hey, you know what? I hope, hopefully you cash in on the 19 parlay. But that's what I mean, where you get these opening days and you can go nuts, and then the bankroll takes a big hit, right? So bottom line, be careful with your sports discipline. And we talk about this. I talk about this all the time, money management. If you don't have money management, and maybe the only reason I'm talking about it is because I'm in my 50s now. When I'm in my 20s or my teens or my early 30s, I could care less about money management, right? You just go with the flow. But when you get older, money management is key. That's the only way you survive in this business, because 90% of gamblers lose. And I don't care what anybody says. Vegas, offshore, those guys are go look at their palaces, right? That's your money that they built their palaces with. So hey, you know what? It's a Freaky Friday. We're gonna keep it short on the rants, but sports betting discipline. And again, if you follow my selections here at the Premium Picks, you'll see that I rank my picks 1 unit to 5 units, and I don't go crazy. I'll have 2 or 3 picks a day, and then there's some picks some days I won't have a selection, right? And that's why hopefully you guys are following it, and hopefully you're making some money. All right. Good morning, Miss Danica. How you doing? There's Roger, Isaiah. How you doing, Isaiah? Minnesota, big win for the Wild last night. And Roger, Rashad, you guys are going crazy there in the bullpen. I love it. All right, I agree. Straight bet is the best bet, says Roger. Yeah, straight bets. Hey, my biggest play yesterday was a 5-unit play. Was on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, I had to sweat that out a bit, but the system play in NHL. Yesterday, I gave out 4 system plays. We went 4-0 with our system selections yesterday in the NHL. Remember, I gave you the Buffalo Sabres on the puck line on that system play. It was a nice winner. We had the Islanders. Hey, Islanders, big win yesterday. We had Florida as a system play, and Carolina and Dallas. So the system plays yesterday: Dallas, Carolina, Florida, Islanders, and nice winners yesterday. And the system was on Buffalo. Actually, we went 5-0. We went 5-0 with our system plays yesterday: Dallas, Carolina, Florida, Islanders, and Buffalo. So 5-0 using those systems. And guys, the system play is hitting at over 68%. In fact, when I did the record this morning, I think it was like 77 and 38 or 37. It was something crazy like that. But unfortunately, the basketball system we gave you in Golden State. But you see what I mean? When anytime you have system plays and you bet on C-type teams, you can't trust C-type teams with systems. And I'm telling you, I just adjusting on the fly. That's my new word that I'm using these days. Adjust on the fly, right? And what I'm doing with my wagering is I don't bet anymore on C-type teams. I will not wager on C-type teams. C-type teams in the Raymond reports are teams below 500 because they're like an old high school sweetheart. You know they're going to break your heart eventually, right? And sure enough, Golden State last night broke our hearts using that system. But that's why you don't bet on C-type teams, in my view. In my view only. All right, let's see what the bullpen are saying right now. I encourage everybody to team parlay for under $6, says Roger. Yeah, as long as it wins, right, Roger? I'm going to bust one these days. Famous last words, right? No, I'm going to bust one these days. Raymond, let's switch up to NBA. So let's switch up to NBA. What do you mean switch up to Mo? Mo must be a rookie here in the bullpen, right? My biggest play that Buffalo, I cashed in $500. And all right. So let's check out the all right, so now we're going to go to the horse racing play of the day. And today's free horse racing is on Santa Anita Park. We're going to go to Santa Anita, and we're going to go to race number 1 today at Santa Anita Park. It's a $28,000 claiming race, 4 p.m. post time in Santa Anita at California, 1 mile on the turf. Look at this name. The number 2 horse, Sugar Pickle. I think that's my new favorite name. Sugar Pickle. Flavian Pratt taking a ride here on Sugar Pickle. 3-1 morning line on Sugar Pickle. Pushing 60. Oh, Rusty doesn't like Sugar Pickle. You can hear that. Pushing 60. Pushing. Man, these are great names this morning. And Good Things Come in Pink. Good Things Come in Pink. The number 4. Man, I don't care whoever wrote these horses, man, on a Good Friday, they got a good sense of humor. Sugar Pickle, Pushing 60, and Good Things Come in Pink. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up here, folks, in the morning. Hey, Santa Anita Park, numbers 2, 3, 4 in race number. This is crazy. This is funny stuff. In race number 1, and you remember yesterday I said characters in the sports betting industry? Well, I think there's some even better characters in horse racing. So, and look at our long shot in our Joker's Wild selection today. Our Joker's long shot here in race number 1 at Santa Anita is 50-1. Dyna Power, Boulanger taking the ride here on the 5-horse. And if you're going to bet the 50-1 long shot here on Dyna Power, bet him to win into place. This way he comes in second. You get some of that money back. But 2-3-4, race number 1 today at Santa Anita. 2-3-3-4, 4-5 exacta box. And 2-3-4, 5-3-4 trifecta box. Those are your selections today at Santa Anita. And also, folks, you can get the free tip sheet today at Santa Anita Park. Just go to atsstats.com, go to tools, go to horses, go to free tip sheet. In the pull-down menu, go to Santa Anita Park, and then print out the tip sheet, and hopefully Sugar Pickle. That's my new name, my new favorite name, Sugar Pickle. That's a tickler, all right. All right, let's go to the agenda. What's on next on deck? Or let's go to the Raymond Report SBI, and let's see what's come in last night in the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. In fact, let's go to SBI right here. Let me see here. You guys didn't like the Sugar Pickle things there? I don't see any laughing in the bullpen. That's kind of funny, I thought. All right, NBA last night. Love this time of year, says Mark Nations. All right, here we go. So NBA last night, 3-4 for the favorites. So last night, the underdogs finally won the night in the NBA. In fact, they broke a, what's this here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-game winning streak, a 12-day winning streak on favorites winning straight up. Last night, the underdogs had the night, not a big night. The favorites only won 43% of the games. They went 3-4. And actually, we went 3-4 all over the board last night in the NHL. Over-unders, actually NBA, 3-4 to the under, and then 3-4 against the point spread. And if you're looking on the 7-day average, look at the favorites. If you're betting money line favorites, now you're putting a little bit more money on the money line, but you're hitting at 70.4%, but only 53% in the last 30 days, 55% the last 7 days. And for the overs, the over-unders in the NBA, 41.7% of the overs have come in. So we're in a bull market for unders. Unders have come in. They're on a 3-day winning streak. And let's take a look at the NHL last night. And Sugar Pickle laughed my ass off, says Isaiah. Love it. Yeah, it is funny. All right, here we go. So looking at the let me see, NHL last night, 7-2 to the favorites. 7-2 to the favorites, 3-6 on the puck line, but 2-7 to the under. And if you look at the 7-day average, man, 60% of NHL games last 7 days have gone under the total. And if you're betting unders right now, you are smiling like a butcher's dog right now, because unders are cashing tickets. And let's take a look at Major League Baseball, and hopefully this is updated. Yep, it's updated. 5-8. So the underdogs had the day yesterday. 8-5 for underdogs in Major League Baseball. And looking at over-unders, 8-5. Here we go with another over. Man, you know, they said the baseball's different this year. We're going to keep an eye to see if there's less home runs. But you can see 8-5 to the over yesterday. So we'll keep an eye out on that. And let's take a look at the market market index here for the Bears and Bulls report for the NBA. And sure enough, Sacramento 5-2, still bullish. That's the only C-type team that are in the Bull Club. And those are the Lakers. Lakers are still bearish. Now we got San Antonio. San Antonio was a dangerous play last night. I know they won the night before against Sacramento, but I knew, asking a B-type team like San Antonio to go back-to-back wins against an Atlanta team, which, Atlanta's a lot like the Boston Celtics. You just don't know what you're going to get on certain nights. And let's take a look at the NHL. And let me see here. Roger says he hit 5 unders last night. I followed the last-minute line swings. Nice. Line swing. So, okay. That's so you follow your line follower, right? I go against Dallas system, ATS 66, and first system on Knicks 69%. Yeah, Knicks are making people money this year. All right, let me take a look here on don't forget, folks, if you enjoy the show, hit the like buttons. And if you're new, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or the subscribe button on your mobile device. All right, let's take a look at the NHL confidence level here for the National Hockey League. Man, it was yesterday we saw all those teams in the, look at that, only 4 teams that are bullish right now in the NHL. Pittsburgh, Nashville, Colorado, and the New York Rangers. Those are your 4 hottest teams right now in the NHL. Boston, another loss. Boston can't buy a goal these days. and we'll see what happens. And all these teams here are bearish, which they should be, but only 4 teams that are bullish. I know a lot of people are bullish on the Colorado Avalanche to win the Western Conference. I don't see it. I really don't see it. To me, Colorado, yeah, they're a nice team in the regular season, but will come playoff time when you're facing the same opponents for night in and night out for 4 straight nights. 4 out of 7 series, or it can go 7. That's where it separates the men from the boys, right? Because I think in NHL playoff hockey, it's about goaltending, number one. In regular season, I handicap from forwards back, and in playoffs, it's the opposite. I handicap from netminder defense to forwards, and the team with the best defense. And look at Dallas last year, right? In Montreal, they had a good run, and those 2 teams were doing really well with their defense. But Tampa Bay was the cream of the crop. All right, let's take a look now on the schedule, and we're going to take a look at the last 100 selections in the NBA and the computer picks. So every day I give out these computer picks here at atsstats.com, and we're hitting 61% straight up in our last 100 releases. And folks, normally if you've been following the channel, teams that win straight up on the forecast normally cover 75% of the time. So if you're just looking for straight up winners right here, we're hitting 61%. Let's take a look at the NHL. There's George William. Good morning, George. How you doing? Wake and bake. Wake and bake. Hey, George, I hope you're baking. I hope you're baking cupcakes or cakes. Not, wake and bake can be taking a lot of different things there, George. That's kind of funny. Hey, wake and bake. Hey, this ain't Breaking Bad in the morning here, George. hey, Jesse, Breaking Bad. You guys remember Jesse from Breaking Bad? Wake and bake. That's kind of funny. Wake and bake. Yeah, let's bake some cupcakes. Hey, let's bake some pies and let's get that money. All right. Yeah, that's my twisted sense of humor coming out on a Freaky Friday. Hey, you can tell I've retired from drinking 20 years ago. I still got that warped sense of humor just stuck in my drinking days in the old noggin, right? All right, NHL, 61%. Look at this. Must be a trend here. 61% of the computer picks, so not a bad day. And Major League Baseball yesterday, I think it was almost even. I think it was 8-7 or something like that, or 7-6. Let me see here. Yeah, 7-6. So 7-6 in baseball. We'll keep an eye out on that. And my premium picks yesterday, not a bad night. 4-2. My big play last night was Carolina Hurricanes. That's the one I cashed in big on. Needed help. Hey, we needed a bit of help. I was ready to send Dougie Hamilton a few Christmas cards last night with those stupid penalties he took. Penalties, there's good penalties and bad penalties, right? But when I see stupid penalties, it just absolutely drives me nuts. If that's warped, then I should be locked up. Hey, you know what they say, right? Law of attraction. Hey, you attract your own, right? So, bacon parlay. Hey, George, look at you started here. Hey, I can't wait till we get 10,000 subscribers so we can start making these T-shirts. So you need 10,000 subscribers to sell T-shirts. And once we do, we'll get some. But that's a great saying, though. Wake and bake. Hey, George, I got to give you that. Wake and bake, everybody. Oh, I love the bullpen. All right, let's take a look here. Forget a parlay. There's Eddie Drake, 7-6, but 4 dogs. Yeah, nice dogs yesterday, Ed. Cereal milk, says Rashad. And hopefully we didn't scare George Williams away, right? I hope George is still in the house. All right, Philadelphia 76ers was my 1-unit play. Lost with the Clippers. They made a nice comeback, and I thought we were getting really good value. And Denver, I thought Denver was, and the Clippers had a great record off a loss at home, but unfortunately they didn't cash in. Boston Bruins, man, only put 1 unit on them. There was I liked Boston last night, but Pittsburgh's playing good. But Carolina was my top play. I had the LA Angels and I had the Houston Astros, but I only had 3 units on each of these plays. And that's what I'm going to do with baseball. I'm only going to bet like 1 to 3 units until I get a good grasp on the league in the next couple of weeks. Takes about 2 weeks before you really, for me anyways, to get a real good feel on who's who in the zoo when it comes to betting baseball. All right, let's go to the NBA and let's take a look at some of the games on deck here tonight. In fact, you know what? Let's go premium today. Hey, it's a Freaky Friday. I don't think anybody's up to anything, so let's we might extend the show here today by going. Yes, I'm tuned in, Ron. Right on, buddy. Hey, one thing you need here at the Raymond Report is a good sense of humor, because you might take a bit of ribbing here by either me or the bullpen. Bullpens are Chunky Dude. Hey, there's Chunky Dude. Fork. I saw a Chunky Soup commercial last night, and I thought of you, Chunky Dude. I said, a fork or a spoon? Are we going to grab these picks tonight with a fork or a spoon? Raptors taking on the Warriors. Now, Raptors -2 favorite. The over-under at 225. Where's our guy looking for NBA there? Who was it that wanted NBA? I thought he left already. Where was he? Who was it again? Who was it? No. NBA. Who was our guy there? Is he already gone? Let me see here. I want to get his name. So this way we're showing him some love. Was it JT Foster? No, it wasn't JT. See how throw off I can get real easily. Who was it? Where's that guy that said you get to the NBA already? I want to show him our love here. I can't find him. All right, anyways. 225 is the over-under. The forecast here has Golden State. Golden State winning here. We got Golden State 109 to 106. The over-under at 215. Raptors 1-9. Man, you know, the thing with the Raptors is they'll win 2 or 3 games and you think they're going to go on a run, but then it's just, hey, fool's gold, right? Don't ever get caught with false hope here. And, you know, without the big guys, you know, they lost. Without Ibaka, Gasol, those don't underestimate. Look what Howard's doing in Philadelphia, right? You don't think big guys matter? Just ask ask the Lakers right now if they would love to have Dwight Howard back, right? 4-6 against the point spread for Golden State. Looking at the value, none of these teams really have no value here. 64.2% of winning here for the Raptors. 79% of winning the game straight up. The Kogo is at 41%. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. And let's take a look at some of the early line moves on this game. Now the total, I know you guys can't see this. I'm just trying to see. So the indicators pointing to the under. Open up at 226.5. It's at 225. And I don't see big line moves on the side. And C bearish team against a C, 2 teams that are bearish. 22 days now the Raptors have been bearish. You need to have thick skin around this crew, Ronald. Yeah, absolutely, right? Wake and bake, everybody. Wake and bake. That's a great line. Hey, it all started off with Sugar Pickle, right? See how one horse can just throw off the whole show? Friggin' Sugar Pickle just threw off the whole show today. Hey, pushing 60 also. All right, looking at the Toronto Raptors here. In their last couple of games here, let me see here. 7-3 against Golden State. So in the last 10 games against the Golden State, they're 7-3 straight up. And you know what? I'm going to take a look at the Raptors and the injury report. You know, we always got to look at the injury report, see what kind of lineup we're going to line up on the floor here tonight for Golden State. And it looks like we're good here. And I don't see anything. So it looks like we got everybody for the Raptors tonight and the Golden State Warriors. But again, you got 2 C-type teams, and I can't put money on crappy teams right now. Maybe totals though. If I'm gonna bet the game like this, maybe a total. You know, I don't think either team plays good defense. In fact, let me go check out their defense here. Let's go to team scoring, and if you ever want to see the scoring, go to tools, go to team scoring ranking, go to NBA, and then once you hit the NBA, go to matchups, and look at that. The 25th ranked defense for Golden State, 19th. So both these teams in the almost the 1/3 part of the third of the part of the league, so they're not really good defensively. Giving up 112 to 114. You add that up, that's 226. And what's the total on this game? The total is what, 225? I saw, yeah, 225. So maybe the total of going over is where you want to lean on this one. And let me see if there's any stats and trends. I got a great Major League Baseball stat for you guys today, just like the ones I gave you yesterday, and I'll give you to that when we do baseball. 16-8. To the over. So home teams on a 4-game losing streak this season, the NBA, 16-8 to the over. 16-8 to the over. I think over is where you want to go here tonight. Fred VanVleet over 6.5 says some solutions. All right, let's go to the next game. Just reading out your selections, guys. And Golden State is a pick. A little cat eyes there. Hey, a little cat love there. Roger loves the cats, I guess. And all right. We're an animal farm here Hey, we're an animal house. Yeah, we're an animal house here at the Rain Report. So is the bullpen. The bullpen's a bunch of animal house. Hey, all right. New York Knicks against the Dallas Mavericks. Now looking at Dallas, 6.5-point road favorite. The over under at 212.5. This is going to be a good basketball game today at the Gardens. You got Dallas, who are on a 2-game win streak. Now New York having a good season. Compared to last season. They're let's see here, 24-24 on the year. They're B neutral up against another B neutral type team in the Dallas Mavericks. We got the Mavericks winning by 6, and look at that. Don't get hooked. If you're like Dallas and you got 6.5, buy the hook if you like the hook. If you like Dallas, you don't want to get hooked, right? Looking at the 2 ATS wins, looking at the chances of winning, does favor the Mavericks, 66.6. And let me see what the lineup here is for Dallas. J.J. Redick, game time decision. Doncic, Richardson, Finley, Kleber, Porzingis. Look at Porzingis going to play back-to-back games here. What's up with that? Alfred Payton, Bullock, Barrett, Randall, and Noel. All right, so there's your lineup, starting lineup potentially for tonight's game between New York and Dallas. Last 4 games for New York has gone under the total, but check this out. The Dallas Mavericks against another team that are just like them in the standings, so a team between 50 and 59.9%. 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the point spread. So that does favor the Dallas Mavericks here this evening. And in their last 10 trips to the Gardens, 6-4 straight up and 4-6 to the under. Look at this. In the last 10 games between these two teams, 80% of the games have gone under. And if we look at both teams' record in the last 15 games, let's go 15 games. For Dallas, they didn't start well this year, but they've turned it around in their last 15, 10-5 straight up, so winning 66% of their games, 112 points for, 105 points against, and for the New York Knicks, pretty much even, 8-7, 105, 104. This could be a good game, and anytime I see balance like this, I'm gonna lean probably with the Mavericks in this one. All right, let's go to the next game on deck. Houston against Boston. Almost want to pass on these games. Hey, one, I can't, I shouldn't even handicap C-type games, right? What do you guys think? Should I just go buy C-type games and just get to the next one? Because, the old high school sweethearts, right? They're going to break your heart. And there's Eddie. How you doing, Eddie? Good morning, Eddie. Again, I'm late to the party. Work seems to be taking up my time, but I'll listen to beginner later on. Awesome, Eddie. Have a great day, buddy. There's Eddie. Eddie had a great run in the Streakcatcher, and we know he'll be back very shortly. Maz, my team, Ron, ride or die with the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, ride or die. And if you like Dallas, then you're going to love the Houston Cougars in the Final Four, right, George? I guess George, if he's a Texas or Houston guy, he's going to love the Cougars. Great Final Four. All right, side notes, A's turned right back to true selves when Greinke stepped up. Yeah. Unfortunately, they did. Hey, there's Scotty Bear. How you doing, Scotty? Scotty's one of my good friends. Actually, he's a guy who takes care of all our social media. And awesome guy. Scotty. How you doing, Scotty? All right. Let's take a look here at the game. So 112 to 114. Over-under is set at 235.5. And C-type team. And look at this. For the Houston Rockets against another C-type team on the road. 4-12 straight up. 5-11 against the point spread. And the under is hitting 70% between these two teams. Now, here's the thing, right? The Boston Celtics, when they face a team below 500, they're 5-7 against the spread. So I'm going to pass. All right, Minnesota taking on the Memphis. No C teams, Ron. No C teams. Yeah, exactly. Hey, C-type teams will just they'll break your heart, right? All right, let's rock it. No thanks. Lean Rockets. No thanks. Let's see tonight. It's an over/under. Absolutely. All right, next game, Minnesota against the Memphis Grizzlies. So Morant Allen is game time decision. Brooks, Anderson, Valanciunas, Cat, McDaniels, Edwards, Beasley, Rubio. Ricky Rubio. Hey, Ricky Rubio. What a great name. All right, 5.5 is the side here tonight for Memphis. The over-under at 230.5. ATS forecast, the computer pick, going to lean with the Grizzlies here, 118 to 107. The over-under at 225.85. Grizzlies are 5-5, 7-3 against the point spread in the last 10. And is there value on the Grizzlies? They're overvalued, and we don't have value on the T-Wolves. The chance of covering the spread, the lower high goes to the T-Wolves at 45%, but the chance of winning the game straight up, 66 0.6% for the Grizzlies, a C-type team against another C-type teams. So again, you know, it's tough to bet on C-type teams, right? We saw that this weekend. This week, 4-2 straight up against teams below 500, but 5-1. Maybe this game goes over the total. What's the Kogo at? 50%. I love it. Love it when there's balance. So this way, from a market psychology, the bookmaker doesn't have a big edge on you. And when Minnesota travels to Memphis, they're only 2-8 straight up and against the point spread in their last 10 games. But can Memphis turn it up tonight against the T-Wolves? And let me see here. In the last 10 games, 5-5, 4-6, giving up 112 and giving up 116. Both of them offensively, right there, 109, 110. So offensively, they're playing the same. But Memphis, a little bit better on defense. Not that much. But again, I think I'll pass. All right, let's go. Wait, you know what? Before I pass, let me check out the any trends. Speaking of stats and trends, remind me to go to 80% Club. I got some great trends today for you guys. Look at the under. Home teams this year, NBA home teams, coming off a game where they scored 107 points for in the last game. 8, 15, and 1 to the under. And let me see here if there's anything else. So, yeah, little tidbit there for you. Okay, Charlotte against Indiana. Not some really good games here tonight. Another C-type team and against a B-type team. Charlotte. You know what, though? Charlotte, you got to give them credit. They're battling. They're battling hard. And, they lose Kemba Walker. And all they do is just to get better, right? 7-4 against C-type teams. 9-2 against the spread. So when the Charlotte Hornets are on the road against team below 500, they're 9-2 against the number. But only 3-7 straight up and against the point spread in Indiana, the last 10. And the under is 9-1 to the under. Wow, that's a big number. But Indiana this year, 28-17 and 1 to the over. And looking at Charlotte's road record, 11-14, but nothing against the point spread really. Let me see here. Roger likes the Pacers and unders. Celtics crush them, and yeah. All right, so let me take a look here at some of the stats and trends. Nothing really there on the trends here. Yeah, no, I don't think Pacers, what's the percentage? 65.2% of chances of winning. Wow, that's kind of high for a C-type team. And, this is what I mean, right? You got a team that's below 500, 21-25. You got a team one game above 500, and this team's a 4-point favorite. So what does that tell you about road, home court advantage, right? Are they telling us there's a 3-point home advantage for NBA teams this year, just like in football? Something to think about. The chance of covering does favor the Pacers, and I don't know. Maybe the under is where you want to go tonight between the Pacers and the Hornets. Peyton Pritchard. All right, let me take a look at the injury report here. Let me see here. Bogdan, Levert, Holiday, Sabonis, Turner, Biyombo, Washington, Hayward, Rozier, Graham. So I don't see Lamb's a game-time decision. Toe. So we'll see if Lamb's going to be in the lineup. All right, let's go to the next game on deck. Chicago, Utah. The Chicago Bulls. Now, let's see if Kobe White's going to be in the lineup here tonight. Game-time decision. Now, Kobe has been out 2 games now. And I think that's the only, he's been out 2 games his whole career. I know he had a Ironman streak going. And looking at Utah, Conley, Mitchell, Bogdanovich. Now, Mitchell's a game-time decision, personal. All right. Bogdanovich, O'Neal, Gobert. And then Vucevic, Young, Williams, Levine, and Satoransky. Satoransky is he's a goal. Levine, a game-time decision. But looking at the line, 11.5 point. Wow. 225. But Chicago, really good against the point spread on the road. 15-6 against the spread. If there's a team in the NBA, if you're going to bet on a C-type team, sometimes you got to have an exception to the rule. When you see this reminds me of OKC last year, right? Covering team, 15-6 against the point spread. So sometimes you just got to bend your rules a bit for these type of teams. But looking at the Utah Jazz, now they went on a great run Then they had a little bit of a hiccup, right? Remember they had that bit of a hiccup that road swing they had? But it looks like they're back on track. 7-0 in their last 7, 8-2 in the last 10. And when Chicago travels to Utah, 5-5 straight up and against the number. You know what? If you're going to take a flyer in this game, I don't see why you don't take Chicago plus 11.5. The 5-game lose streak, the percentage plays at 57% of covering, 72% chance of winning for the Jazz straight up. And you know what? Oh, wow. Maybe not. I just saw this. Utah Jazz, 10-0 straight up and against the number against C-type teams. So, but, look at the Chicago Bulls. 0-5 straight up against A-type teams, but 4-1 against the number. So, man, this is a lot of indicators to throw you off to throw your receptors off here in this game, right? A lot of indicators throwing you off. And looking at Chicago Bulls, 11-3 on 1 day's rest on the road. And interesting numbers here. But I don't know if I'm going to bet against Utah. But, man, 10-0 against C-type teams at home. So they crush them, right? And, we saw that report that the plane that hit, was it a bunch of seagulls or a flock of seagulls, had to do an emergency landing. Thank God everybody's safe. But does that affect the psyche of the team, right? Things you got to think about. All right. Hey, Ron, you should look at the Pelicans injuries from yesterday. Definitely an April Fool's joke. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Rashad? What do I say about the Pelicans, right? You can't trust them as a favorite. It's like giving your 18-year-old the keys to the Porsche and you tell them not to get in an accident, right? You can't trust the Pelicans. Pelicans, now, are they, okay, so last night, it was a 115-110 loss to the Magic. They're playing on 0 days rest, and home favorites of Pick'em to -3 this year on 0 days rest, 15-13 straight up. That tells, that's pretty even, right? Pretty balanced. Now, the Pelicans, a 1-point favorite. The Hawks coming off a win last night in San Antonio, 134-129, high-scoring game. Nobody plays defense in the NBA anymore, right? Wow, look at the 124 points against in the last 3 games for Atlanta. And the forecast calls for a 3-point win for the Hawks, 115-112. The over-under at 227.85. This, this is going to be a good game. Let me check out the injury report here on this game tonight between the Pelicans and the Hawks. Now, Trae Young's good. Bogdanovich, Snell, Gallinari, Capella. Now, Lonzo Ball is a game-time decision with his hip. And then you have Bledsoe, Ingram. Ingram's a game-time decision, toe. Man, a lot of toe injuries lately. Zion Williamson, thumb. Hey, what's with the thumbs and toes there? That's weird injuries we're seeing here. Thumbs and toes. I don't get that. Hey, don't forget to bet, Pickle? Sugar Pickle? Sugar Pickle at Santa Anita. Still the best call of the day right now. 4-1 Pelicans against B-type teams. 4-1 straight up and against the number. And you know what? Using the law of average theory, betting on a team that won against the spread versus a team that lost against the spread, got to give it to the Pelicans here. I think we got to give it to the Pelicans. Twisted toenail. Twisted toenail. Hey, yeah, twisted toenail, says Chunky Dude. Look at Chunky Dude, eh? Chunky Dude with a great handle, with a great joke right there. I love that. Hawks will win, says Roger. Hey, Roger's from the ATL, I think, right? Are you from the ATL, Raj? Hey? Are you from the ATL? Let me see. Pels were +2, I thought. Well, you know what? It could be. Maybe the line has moved here. Let me take the line has moved. You know what? Let me check on my at Bookmaker. Bookmaker. That's where I play. It's an international sports book. It's one. I think it's one of the best ones out there. I've been with these guys for over 20 years. To me, they're the best. Nobody beats Bookmaker. Let me see here. Basketball, NBA. And I'm seeing New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, -1.5. I got them at 1.5 at Bookmaker. But I do like Pelicans here tonight, even though they got turf toe issues and sucky sore thumbs. Sucky sore thumbs, eh? Hey, what's with the thumbs and toes there? Injuries. All right, look at Atlanta, 5-5. But Pelicans only 3-7 straight up against Atlanta. But you know what? I'm looking at this game. A lot of when you look at the young stars coming up in the league, Zion, Trae, Alonzo Ball, you got some really good young talent. This could be a fast-paced game tonight. Maybe the over. Maybe the over is going to go here tonight. A lot of talent on the floor here tonight, and I think the over it could be worth a look here. Okay? The over could be worth a look. All right, let's take a look at the next game on deck, Milwaukee-Portland. Wow, this is the game to me. Let me see here before I call it the game of the night. Yeah, I think this is the game of the night. I got a feeling this will be the game of the night. Portland. All right, let's see what we got on deck here. We got Milwaukee -3, over-under at 238. We got the Bucks winning 118 to 114, so we got them winning by 4, 232.91. And let me take a quick glance at the lineup here. So Damian Lillard is a go. CJ McCollum. Good to see CJ back after a long injury. So he's been back a few games now and averaging, 24 points last game, 23, 22, 35. So it's good to see CJ back here. And let me see who else is on this roster. I'm looking at the injuries. Where was I here? Here we go. Norman Powell, Stormin' Norman. How's Norman doing there? Only scoring, here we go. 14 points, 13, 22, 22, 19. So I'm trying to see how they're using him. 19, 18. Yeah, you know what? He's not scoring as many points. He's playing the same amount of minutes, 34, 27, 36. Hated to see Norman go, though, If you're a Raptor fan, love Norman Powell. Quiet guy, quiet leadership. And, there's a couple times during the last couple of years when the team was down, Norman Powell really was the energy that brought, if you watch a couple of those Raptor games last year when they were just like 10 points out, 15 points out, and Norman Powell would just go on a run and they would win. But that's when they had their big guys too, right? I love Norman Powell. Lined up on the wrong side when he played the Raptors. Yeah, that was funny. Old habits die hard. Poor Norm. Stormin' Norman. Love Norman Powell. All right, back to this game. Milwaukee 3-7 against the point spread. Only 3-7, and 7-3 in their last 10 to the over. And for the Portland Trail, so both these teams are 7-3 straight up. And looking at the value index, I had the Bucks at -6, and I had Trailblazers at 0.23. So you're getting value on both these teams. The chance of winning 67% straight up for the Bucks, 61 chance of covering for Milwaukee, and 35% chance this game going over the total. And now the Portland Trailblazers 29-18 on the year. These teams are identical. 13-17, 29-18, a one game difference. Now Portland at home against A-type teams. The psychology-wise, they tend to psych out here. 1-3 straight up against the number, and because Milwaukee's used to these type of games. I don't think Portland is. And but Lillard loves these challenges, right? Whenever Lillard thinks he's going up against another great player, he steps up. But Batman need Robins, and I don't see a Robin right now. Maybe McCollum. 2-8 straight up in their last 10 games against Milwaukee. Milwaukee is 7-3 against the point spread in Portland. I think you got to lean. I got to lean with Milwaukee here. I think we're going to lean with the Bucks. And looking at, even though Milwaukee's not the same type of team that we're used to seeing, and they're coming off a win against the Lakers, a Laker team that was, depleted. And, you got to be careful here because they played the Clippers a couple nights ago and they got destroyed, 129-105. And Portland, 124-101 against the Pistons, 122. So you can see they had some time off here, 28. So they had 3 days off here, 29, 30. No, 2 days off here. And now so you know what? Using biorhythms here, the body clock. Let me see this here. If you look at the last couple, I ask the programmer. I haven't checked, but I'm trying to see how teams do. I'm seeing a lot of games like 5 games in 7 days, 4 games in 6 days. I want to see how the biorhythms of the body clock, how it adjusts to some of these teams, right? I think that's an angle we really got to consider in these COVID times era, because I got a feeling a lot of teams playing a lot of games in many nights that, the body, it needs a lot of rest, right? But you know what? Having said that now, I got to really think about this because you're getting a Portland team who hasn't played. They've had some rest. This will be, let me see here, their schedule. So they played on the 31st. So if you look at the 29, 30, 31st, 1. So they've had only one game in 4 days. So from a body clock point of view, they could be well rested here tonight. Yeah, maybe Portland Plus 3 is the call here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? All right, last game on the board here. I think there's one more game. No, we got a couple here. All right, Oklahoma against Phoenix. Oklahoma against Phoenix. Yeah, I saw that. Not a great spot for the Blazers. Why is that, Isaiah? Why don't you think they're a good spot? You don't think they're well rested? Almost sound like Elmer Fudd there. Well rested. Hey, sound like Elmer Fudd there. Well rested. Take out the W's and put the R's, or take the R's out and put the W's. Sound like Elmer Fudd. I think Flames show up tonight, says John X. All right, minus 12.5 for Phoenix. The over-under is set at 219.5. ATS forecast 115. McDavid is going to go off. Okay, 115 to 104. The over-under 220.6. 8-2 for Phoenix last 10. Now Phoenix. Now looking at the standings, let me check out the standings in the NBA. I want to see how many games behind they are in first place. Phoenix is 3 games behind. This is going to be a great race. I think the Lakers are pretty well out of getting first. This is between Clippers, Suns, and Jazz for first place, and you're going to see Phoenix. They're going to play to the end here. They're going to want to get that first place, and Utah Phoenix going to be a great race. Now looking at the line here, minus 12. You got a C-type team. Too many points. I'm not. Maybe the over. Maybe the over is where you want to lean in this one. Maybe the over. What's the Kogo at? Kogo is at 51%, and we got at 220. Yeah, maybe the over is where you want to go. Maybe the over is where you want to go here tonight. All right, let's take a look at the next game here. Last game of the night. Lakers against Buddy Buckets and the Sacramento Kings. Buddy Buckets. All right, minus 4 is the number. 221 is the over-under. 120 to 113. Can Sacramento pull off 2 Lakers win? When was the last time the Kings beat the Lakers twice in the back-to-back game situation, right? Let me see the last couple of games. 123, 120. Oh, they beat them actually 136, 122. So they've won the last 2. But obviously with the Lakers injury, they're in tough here tonight. Lakers, Matthews, Davis, Drummond. Drummond, they just got there. How can Drummond be already out? Another toe injury. What is going on with the toes? Did not travel, ruled out. Turf toe. Hey, does he got turf toe? What's with all these toes and thumb injuries? Man, that's crazy. Schroeder, yeah, you know what? This is like a G League team here for the Lakers tonight. Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, Morris, Gasol, De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, Yield, Barnes. Oh, man. Sacramento all day. But C-type team, minus 4. Maybe money line. Maybe money line is where you want to go in this one. But what's with all the toe injuries in the NBA? Hey, we're going to have to put a new playing surface there. These guys are all getting toe injuries. Imagine if they played on turf. That'd be funny. All right, I hit a free parlay yesterday, says Chunky Dude. Actually had an easy $25 bet. And any questions? Oh, yeah, let me go to the 80% club for NBA. 80% club. Let's see if we got any good stats in the NBA for the 80% club. Then we'll hit NHL. Memphis 8-2 as a home favorite versus Northwest Division opponents. 8-2 straight up. 8-2 against the point spread for Memphis. Utah, obviously, when you're a 12-point favorite, you're gonna have a lot of straight up angles your way. Milwaukee, So Milwaukee in their last 10 games on the road in April, 9-1 to the over. And let me take a look at these stats here. Houston as a road underdog the last 5 years, coming off 1 day's rest, coming off an under, 9-1. 9-1 against the point spread, 2-8 to the under the last 5 years. Pretty solid. Let me see here. Raptors, 11-2. So Toronto Raptors as a home team the last 5 years, when the total's 220 or more, and they're coming off an under, 11-2 straight up. Not a bad record. Sacramento as a home favorite versus a division foe during the month of April, and they scored 110 points or less in the last game. 12-2 straight up. Yeah, I think Sacramento on the money line, guys, might be something to consider. Charlotte as a road underdog on a Friday night allowed 111 to 115 points against. 2-9 to the under. 2-9 to the under. And let me see here. Portland, Chicago to the over. So Chicago is a road dog last 5 years. During the month of April, they scored 120 or less points in the last game. 9-2 to the over. So the Bulls as a road dog last 5 years. During the month of April, they scored 120 or less points in the last game. 9-2 to the over. The Boston Celtics on a Friday night when they're 9.5 to 12-point home favorite, and they scored 110 points or less, 8-2 straight up. So make sure the Boston faithful are chugging down that Heineken tonight. Get that crowd fired up on a Friday night. And New Orleans, home team, last 3 years after a non-conference game, coming off an over, 9-1 to the over. And so those are pretty good stats right there. Utah Jazz, 19-2 at home this year. And here, let me see here. Charlotte as a home or road team this season, and they lost their last game by 22 points or less, and they're 1-2 in their last 3 games, 8-2 to the over. So, Ron, I love you, but some of these trends are useless. Yeah, you know what? Hey, trends are trends, right? These trends are just think of it as, I don't know, makeup on a pig type thing, right? You know, sometimes these trends, again, team trends, I hear what you're saying. You know, team trends are team trends. But sometimes people just want to see some trends, and I agree. I don't base a lot of my selections on team trends. Now, system trends. Now we're talking a different story, right? How can you argue a system trend when it's system trends hitting over 69% in NHL? But I hear what you're saying, Chuck. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. They're trendy, and you know what? It's just mind ticklers. The trends are just mind ticklers, right? All right, NHL. Let's go to the NHL and handicap tonight's games. You know, we got some good NHL hockey games. Man, hockey's been great this year. I don't know what it is. Maybe with all this time off, we're handicapping more. You know, when you have, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when you've had more time to handicap a game, you're more bought into that game because of, you know, of all the time and research you put into that game, and hopefully the findings that you've done research in that game pans out for you, right? I find the more time you spend on a game, the more invested you are in that game, and I find it's even better if it wins, right? Then it's like, all right, pop the champagne, let's go. We're going on a bender, right? But no, it's I just find that the more you handicap a game, the more invested you are in that, right? All right, Washington against New Jersey Devils, and looking at the Capitals, 156 favorite, over under at 5.5. We have the Capitals winning 3.3, 2.8, the over-under at 6.1. Now, looking at Washington Capitals this morning, this is probably one of the hottest teams in the NHL, 11-4 in their last 15 games. The Capitals are heating up right now. 3.47 goals for in the last 15 games. New Jersey, no, they had a little. New Jersey wish they can just play Boston all the time. Hey, New Jersey wish they could play Boston all the time, but they really struggle against the Capitals. Only 2-8 in their last 10 games against Washington. And looking at the last 10 games, 5-5, 7-3 for the Capitals. Capitals, though, coming off a 2-game losing streak, they lost 2 in a row now. They lost to the Islanders. Actually, they got pumped last night, 8-4. Man, that's not good. But that just shows you this Washington team, they'll beat the beatables, but when they face the bully, they unfortunately they don't do well against good teams, right? Washington 5-4, New Jersey. I just said they wish they could play Bruins, but that was the only loss they had this year, I think, to the Boston Bruins, 5-4, a 1-goal loss. And looking at tonight's stats here, angles, NHL, the Capitals are 6-1 as a road favorite this year, and let me see here, 13-4. Wow. This is interesting. Look at this stat right here. NHL road teams in New Jersey, the over is 13-4. So if I go up here, they should be 13-4. Look at that, to the under. 13-4 to the under. So the home games for New Jersey this year, 13-4 to the under. So, yeah, I do like Washington here tonight. No system plays. I didn't find any system plays here tonight in the NHL. But I think if you're going to play this one, I think Washington is the play. All right, what else do we got here? Let me see here. Toronto, this is a game of the night. Toronto, another game of the night. Now, this here is, to me, is a tough game to handicap. You got Toronto's really, when you've watched the game between Toronto and Winnipeg, it's not even close. You know, you look at the last couple of games down here. Let's go 3-1. Then the Jets won this one 5-2, but then they lost, 4-3 to the Leafs, 4-3 to the Jets. Actually, the Jets, they've held their own against the Leafs, but for some reason I thought, I remember watching Hellebuck play a couple of games, and he just got peppered. He got like 40, 50 shots on goal, and he held. If Hellebuck is on his game, that's the only way that Winnipeg beats Toronto. Now, looking at this season, 3-1 for the Leafs in the first game, 4-3. So I'm seeing interval here. So 1 game for the Leafs, 1 game for the Jets. 1 game for the Leafs, 1 game for the Jets. 1 game for the Leafs. You see what I'm saying? Law of average theory right here. It's like the zigzag theory, right? So, you know what? I know the computer likes Toronto. It's just that Toronto's power play and the dominance. I don't know what the shots on goal were last game, but just Toronto, they look right. You can tell when a team is on. When a team in the first 2 minutes have jump in their skates and they're out shooting you 7-3 in the first 2 minutes, like Montreal did to Edmonton, and like Carolina did to Chicago last night. When a team is on their game, you can tell right in the first 2-3 minutes of a game, right? And we'll see in the first couple of minutes if Winnipeg, if you're going to play a long shot tonight, I think Winnipeg is a nice play here. But again, it's just Toronto. This, they're a funny team. They're a real funny team. That's all I got to say. 5-5 in their last 10. Both these teams are 5-5. If I was going to play this game tonight, guys, I would play Winnipeg. I would play, as much as I would hate it, to go against the Leafs, because I do respect the Leafs. The Leafs power play, when Matthews and Marner are on and that power play is clicking, it's one of the best in the leagues. But I do have to go with Winnipeg here. Campbell's and Nets for the Buds, 7-0. Yeah, that's the only scary part is Jack Campbell. Is he confirmed though? G&G is he confirmed? Like, this guy hasn't lost a game all year. This guy is just absolutely lights out, right? So Campbell's expected. So I'm seeing expected. So and Vanacek and Blackwood for New Jersey in the first game. So I forgot to go to that one. Let me see here. Yeah, you know what? I'm still going to go Winnipeg. It's been a back and forth series all year. Plant-based, you have Twitter. All right, here we go. Edmonton, Calgary, the Battle of Alberta. Anybody from Alberta here? What's the vibe here on this one? I think. All right, let's look at the line. 147 is the price. 5.5 is the over/under. 3.02, 2.82. The over/under at 5.84. Looking at Calgary here. Underdog in this spot, 4-6 in their last 10, and 0-3 against B-type teams on the road. And the Edmonton Oilers are 7-1 against teams below 500. I think the Oilers really crushes them here. Not crushes, but I like Edmonton here. 5-5 in their last 10 head-to-head meetings against Calgary, and Calgary's only 3-7. Calgary's only 3-7 in their last 10 trips to Edmonton. And let me see here. Edmonton at home, 12-8. And after facing Montreal, look at this. So the Edmonton Oilers, after facing Montreal, they're only 4-11 in their next game at home. So that's interesting. I don't know if it's at home or overall. I'll have to check. And let me see here. The last time these two teams met, it was a 7-3 win for Edmonton. And then it was a 4-3 win for the Flames. 3-2 win, 7-1, 2-1. So Edmonton, pretty much 6-4. So there's Calgary. There's 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2. So 4-2 in series favoring Edmonton. I do like Edmonton here tonight. And what's their day's rest here? Off 2 days rest. Interesting. Look at this. Home teams off 2 days rest, only 30-27 on the year. That's an interesting stat right there. I thought it'd be a little bit better. The getting more time off would help them. But yeah, I'm going to go with Edmonton. I think Edmonton's the play. All right, St. Louis against Colorado. Hey, all the hockey guys are chiming in now. I like to see that. Hey, all the hockey guys. Sniper likes Winnipeg, but I don't think New Jersey has a chance. What's your? I'll hit you up. All right, St. Louis against Colorado. Colorado, man, you know what? 8-2 in their last 10. If you look at the last 15, they're like Washington right now. Exactly like Washington. 11-4 in the last 15 games, scoring 4.4 goals for, giving up only 2.1 against. And the starting goalies tonight, it looks like it's going to be Grubauer against Binnington. Binnington here. Let me see here. Jordan Binnington. What's his record on the year? Yeah, 10-10. Bennington's not having a good year like he did the Stanley Cup year, right, when they won. Colorado coming off a 9-3 win. Oh, man. I wonder what teams do off a 7-goal win. I wonder if I got that stat. Let me see here. Coming off a 6-goal win. A 6-goal win. Home teams coming off a 6-goal win this year. 3-0. 3-0. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, Colorado here all day. I don't see how you go against a hot team. And St. Louis, I don't know what's going on in St. Louis right now, but let me see. Their goals for in the last couple of games, averaging only 1 goal. They're like Boston right now. They can't find the twine. Look at, oh my God, 1.9 goals for, under 2 goals for a game. Man, what's going on in St. Louis? You know what? Colorado maybe on the puck line. Colorado puck line. All right, next game, Kings against the Sharks. -125 for LA. 5.5 is the over-under. 2.93, 2.7. The over-under at 5.64. Over-under here is set at, let me see here, 5.5. So it does like it to go over the total according to the computer selection. 39% on the Krogo. LA coming off a 4-2 win over Vegas. And San Jose coming off a 4-2 win over Minnesota, over Isaiah's Wild there. Wild won last night, though. Let me see here. San Jose 4-3, 4-6 in their last 10. Same thing with the Kings. They're 4-6. Pretty much even here. And for San Jose in the last 10 trips to LA, 7-3. So they do well at the Staples Center. 7-3. Oh, Rusty's getting all fired up there. Hey, he must be lunchtime or something. Let me see here. 4-6. Yeah, you know what? I know on my hockeypicks.com I put the computer pick for LA, but I think you might have to give San Jose maybe the nod here. LA Kings at home against another team below 500, 1-3 straight up. So they don't do well against the number. Arizona Anaheim, the last game of the night in the NHL. And we got the Coyotes, the Yotes, a 125 favorite. The over-under at 5.5. Forecast, I'm going to lean with the Coyotes here. 2.97, 2.5. The over-under at 5.55, 56. 3-7. Anaheim's a mess. Anaheim's just a mess, right? Let me see who the starting goalies tonight. Peterson against Martin Jones. Actually, Gibson against Adam Hill. Adam Hill for Arizona. 4-4 on the year. And for Johnny Gibson, Johnny is 7-12. 3 shutouts, though. 3 shutouts on the season. Not bad when a bad team. But Anaheim 5-14 at home. Arizona 6-9. But Arizona's only 3-7. So you know what? 2 bad teams. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on that game tonight. All right. Just follow Plant Base, and I agree with John's Flame. Any questions on hockey? Let me check out the 80%. Chucky's. Let's go to Chuck Z's 80% club stats. Hey, Chucky loves the stats. Hey, Chuck. This is now that you said that, I'm gonna call the Chucky stats. Toronto 12-3 on the road as a favorite in the month of April in their last 15. Colorado 8-10, 8-2 as a favorite when the total is 5.5 and 6. Let me get to the good stats here. Devils, not crazy about that one. Calgary as a road underdog the last 5 years, totals 5.5, coming off a home loss as a favorite. 12-2 to the under. That's a pretty good stat right there on Calgary. Washington. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I got a good system. Yeah, you know what? Let's go to the system. The difference between team stats and system stats is when every team has been in this spot. I got a great system. I love your stats. I know you do, Chuck. I'm just teasing you, buddy. That's what we do here. We rib our bullpen members, right? Hey, that's how we know we like you. We start teasing you. All right, look at this. Anaheim against Arizona. This is a good system. So I did some research on this one this morning. So Anaheim and Arizona over the total tonight. So any NHL home team the last 5 years before a conference game, coming off a loss, coming off a 5-game road stand. So Anaheim's coming off a 5-game road stand, and they scored 2 or less goals for in the last game. These are the type of stats I like, because when you see a team only score 2 goals or less in their last game, you're going to think, under. But look at that, 11-2 to the over. So NHL home teams, last 5 years before a conference game, coming off a loss, and they played the last 5 games on the road, and they scored 2 or less goals for in the last game, 11-2 to the over. So look at that, Chucky stats. Yeah, I like that. I'll have the Chucky stat of the day. To go with the Chuck E. Cheese, right? Hey, Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Hey, speaking of pizza, it's Friday night. I don't know about you guys, but Friday's a pizza night here at the old Raymond household. Hey, I'm big on pizza. I love pizza. You guys pizza guys too? All right, let's go to Major League Baseball. We'll do a quick one here. We'll do a rundown on baseball. Only, 7 games? 2 o'clock at Fenway today. So that's the rainout game yesterday, or I don't know why that was canceled. All right, postpone. So looking at the forecast here, Boston 7.4, Baltimore 3.04. So we like Boston and the over. Tampa Bay, I got a great system on Tampa Bay. Remember I promised you guys the system? Here's the system. I'm going to bring it up right now. So I got a great now you can play the system on the side or the total. Oh, crap. It went right to the database. Let me see if I can. No. Okay, I'll get it back here. It was a great system. Oh, man, what was that system? See that? It just refreshed on me. Oh, let me see if I go back on the... hang on there. I'm going to see if I can get it back on the replay here. I'll pause it on the replay. See, this is good about YouTube. I can go see the replay, and then I can refresh it. So this way I can... all right, here we go. This is perfect. Okay, perfect. See, this is awesome. So I lost the system, but on the replay I can get it. So road teams scored 1 run or less in their last game. Scored 1 run in their last game. So Tampa Bay scored 1 run in their last game. You guys have to bear with me here a second. This I know is tedious. Scored 1 run. Where's the one? 1 run last game. During the month of April. Where's April? April showers. All right. Versus a non-conference opponent. So Miami's in the other conference. So versus a non-conference opponent the last 5 years. All right. So I think we got this one. All right, now I can go to live. Hey, now I can go live. All right, so check this out. So we got an away team. So Tampa Bay is an away team. They scored 1 run in their last game. It was a 1-0 win in April versus a non-conference opponent. So Miami is in the East National League. Tampa Bay is in the American League. Last 5 years, check out the record. 12-3 straight up. 12-3, but 10-5 to the over. So, and you know what? Because both these teams played under the total yesterday, maybe the over is worth a look here. And if you do it back since, let me see if I do it since 96. I don't know if it's going to be any better. 15-7 and 14-8. So the side looks a little bit better. But if you do it, say, the last 4 years, let's say you do it the last 4 years, it's still a great system. 11-3. 11-3. Let me see if I do away favorites. Away favorites. I don't think we'll have as many. 2-0. So not as many occurrences. But let me see if I go away favorites since 96. 2-1. So not many. So it happens with away teams, right? But I think that's a great system. I think that is a great system on Tampa Bay tonight. That's the system play of the day. And we have the Rays winning 4.6 to 4.1. The over-under at 8.7. Dodgers taking on the Rockies. Now, we talked about this game yesterday. Be careful. Games at Coors Field, you just don't know, right? And the Dodgers, I know a lot of people are hyping them up to win the World Series. I think they will. But they're, teams that are, I call like public teams, and they're gonna garner all the heavy money. They're good go against, right? And I found yesterday was a good go against the Yankees against Texas. I'll get it. The Dodgers and. Looking at the line, 275. Don't lay 275. 11.5 is the over-under. We got the Rockies winning again, 4.8 to 4.2. The over-under at 9.1. Chicago against LA, 6 to 2.25, favoring the White Sox. Dylan Bundy got the win yesterday, or he started. You got Dallas Keuchel up against Andrew Heaney today for the Angels. And we do have it. I do like Chicago, though, today. I do like Chicago. Houston against Oakland. Hopefully Oakland bounces back here today. Minus 107. The over-under at 8. You got Jesus Luzardo up against Kristen Javier for the Astros. Maybe the under is where you want to look in this one. I think the under might be worth a look. And looking at Arizona against San Diego, you got Blake Snell. Now, Blake Snell traded to the Padres in the offseason up against Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly was a great unders pitcher last year, and maybe the under is where you want to go here tonight between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. 6.1 to 4, the over-under at 8, 10.51. But I do like the under in this one here tonight. And San Francisco against Seattle, you got Yusei Kikuchi up against Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto going for the San Francisco Giant. Now, Johnny Cueto last year had a pretty good year, had a great start of the season. The year before, he was injured, but, I like Johnny Cueto. I just love his energy. He's fun to watch. Minus 117, and I got the Giants winning 3.67, 3.42, the over-under at 7.09. So I do like the under here tonight between Seattle. So the computer does, not me. But you know what? I'm going to take a look at the unders in the San Diego Arizona game. This game here, I do like Oakland. Just off the top of my head. Chicago White Sox, a bounce back game against the Angel. We'll see what happens here. You got Dallas Keuchel against Andrew Heaney. Dodgers, I think this game goes over between Antonio Sensatella up against Trevor Bauer. Now the Dodgers, we'll see what that's going to be like. Hey, imagine that, your first game with your new team and you're at Coors Field. You better not get rocked in your new with your new teammates, eh? But I think Tampa Bay, to me, might be the game of the night for me. Ryan Yarbrough getting plus money here. Getting plus money as a dog. So minus 115. So money getting garnered here on the Marlins. You know what? That system I did as a favorite. Let me see as an away underdog. Maybe it's better as a 13-6. Wow. You know what? Oh, this is pretty good. The Tampa Bay, so look at this system again. Road Dogs scored 1 run in the last game in the month of April versus a non-conference opponent. Road Dogs. Hey, anytime you get a system underdog that's 13-6, you know how hard it is to find a road dog, a dog to have a great system play like this. It's very hard. Tampa Bay line inverted. Why? No idea. Ronnie, check out my Chucky stat above. Huge trend. Where's Chucky? All right, Chucky has a Sten here. NHL teams coming off a meatloaf dinner on Thursday who are wearing dark uniforms during an odd number. Here's the thing. Was there ketchup on the meatloaf, Chuck? There's a big difference if you don't put ketchup on the meatloaf, right? Hey, just ask Will, what was that movie? Ma Meatloaf? Ma Meatloaf! Hey, that's a good one. I like that. But, no, this is a good system. This is a good system right here on Tampa Bay. And Baltimore at Fenway, we'll see the over. All right, Friday. Where's Rusty? Where's my Rustinator? Hey, always got to finish off the show on a Friday with Rusty. Rusty! Oh, he's outside. Ah, crap. Rusty's outside. Hey, of all days, he goes outside for a pee break. Even Rusty gets a time off here, right? Oh, well, you know what? Rusty will come back next time. We'll have Rusty next Friday. All right, folks, don't forget, if you're interested in the Rain Report, you can get it here each and every day at atsstats.com. In fact, for only 27 cents a day, $99 for the year, you get all these stats and the bells and whistles. Dang, I want to see Rusty. Maybe he's coming back up. I hear Natalie call him up. Oh, there he is. Hey, Rusty. Hey, buddy. Hey. Hey, what'd you do, Nat? Hey, come here. Rusty, come here. Hey. He's always going after the mic. He always goes after the mic, eh? There's big old Rusty. Hey, next Friday I'll put a trick. I'll put like a milk bone or a carrot, a little carrot. We don't, we got to give our dogs healthy treats. Maybe I'll put a little small carrot there and have Rusty go get the carrot. A little trick here on I got to start doing some tricks, right? If I'm gonna bring Rusty on, he's got to earn his keep here on the show. Can't just bring him on as a show and tell dog, right? He's gotta have some type of trick up his sleeve. I'll work on a new trick for next Friday. So this way, Rusty has some to, like I said, he's got to earn his keep here. All right, there. Don't forget, folks, if you're interested in my top plays, my best bets, you can get them here each and every day at atsstats.com. Went 4-2 last night. I'm 15-10 in my last 25 selections. As I said, I'm a 50 to 50 cent. I feel like 50 cents sometimes handicapping, but 50 to 57% handicapper and win percentage. I'm 15-10 in my last 25. And if you're interested in my top plays, my best bets, you can get them right here at atsstats.com. Hey, how come I'm all out of sync here? Hey, I'm all blurry. All right. Anyways. Have yourself a great rest of your Freaky Fridays, everybody. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back here on Monday with another Raymond Report. Cheers.